Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Isaac Wolf, and joining me today in this demonic feast of puns is my lovely co-host, Brandon Alvarado, and co-creator, Brandon Alvarado. How's it going, buddy?
Yo, 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 yo. Excited to talk more Doron. This book is getting so good.
And it sure is, it sure is. And I was wondering, we are at chapter 12 now, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. We're doing 12
And
and 13 today.
I have to say, it's it started kind of uh, cute, dare I say.
As in the chapter?
Yes, the chapter.
Yes. Yes. It's funny you say that because I even picked for the show for one of the panels that I wanted to show is so we start with Kusanagi having this conversation with the lead with the founder of the Izanagi Force, right?
Yeah,
I believe he's Jin Shiyo's grandfather. They're having a conversation where they're trying to understand each other, and I like the fact that he reminds me of Uncle Gyro. Is that his name? The one
are you talking? Are you
from
talking about
Avatar?
that? Yeah,
Yeah. So like he's kind of like he knows who the enemy is, but he's not blinded. Like he understands that there is power in communication. There's a power in understanding, and which is why, of course, we know that he sides with Suko's redemption arc, right? And helping Aang and them being the heroes against the Fire Nation. Um, but I like the fact that he takes the time to talk to to Kusanagi to get to know this cute Mononoke that we all love better. And not only that, but what we find is that not only was he trying to understand him better before letting him, do what he needed to do, but at the same time, he's asking him random questions. Like, who's your favorite female celebrity and like stupid stuff, which is like remember when I said the first time that this character has so many Kakashi vibes?
yeah.
Like this is perfect. This is perfect, and I love this about this character because that's kind of like just like Gojo was always so quirky from the moment we met him in Jujutsu Kaisen. We also know that whenever we actually get a chance to see him in battle, he's got to be a total badass. You know?
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what this guy has to offer. I mean, of course, it's very early in the book for us to think that we're going to see him fight anytime soon, but this is an awesome moment, and I loved every minute of it. Um,
Also, can I mention that the reaction a certain samurai gave when he finally got some respect. He was in tears.
that was hilarious. That was hilarious. So the whole thing about this guy Yuiji, what is it,
Eugene.
Heisuke Yuiji, is
Yeah,
like he craves respect from fellow samurais or from people around him, whether they're subordinates or whatever. And there's this panel where Dora kind of like bows down to him and gives him a ton of respect, and he just can't believe it. And you have this funny picture panel of him kind of like acting severely upset because if he doesn't try to become upset, he's going to start crying because he's happy that he's being respected. It's just so cool. That's actually one of those coolest
I
moments.
will admit one thing though that makes me a bit disappointed with this chapter, and that is that Ginshio is getting getting sideline, if that's the best term.
Well, the funny thing is, it's funny that you say that, and I I like it because they're breaking the norm. You know what I mean? Like they
How
were
do you
setting
mean?
like they were setting everything up to follow that arc of them being with Jinchiyo, blah 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 blah. And it kind of felt like they were building it where we're gonna be following these three characters together for a while. But that is something that's very common and trendy, but they're breaking from the norm. They're doing something different. So they did this, they turned it around and said, no, no, no. We're not gonna do what you thought we are gonna do. We're gonna do this. And I kind of like it because it makes sense because of how we were talking last time we talked about the book with the introduction of Hidehisa and that Himeno Mononoke Uji, like how power scaling has evolved so much in this book, right? And I kind of like the fact that there's that she's not being sidelined. She's on a mission. Like she's now going to focus on getting stronger, on growing stronger. And I like it's kind of like I know that a lot of people have mixed feelings about Sakura, but it's
Oh,
but yeah,
good,
I'm gonna say it.
good
Um,
thing Mike and Leo wasn't here because they hate her.
I like Sakura, but you know,
I mean,
I'm the exception on a lot of things.
I'm
But
indifferent towards her, so no comments here.
but I like the fact that she's getting her training arc, and I kind of like the fact that her training arc is going to be behind the scenes, kind of, because right now our image of her is of she was she was presented as a badass, but at the same time, it was quickly presented that she's not that strong. You know what I mean? Which is kind of like a twist on that idea, how they turned that on their head, because it's kind of defined the expectation of what we expect them to do. They're doing something very different, which I like, especially with the pacing, because we also talk like most modern animes, it's paced quickly but informatively, and you don't feel that it's going too fast, but there's a lot happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So I kind of I like the fact that she's going to go on this training arc. Is going to be behind closed doors. That we have a new leader, and the fact that just for the fact that now we're in the Isanagi force, like Jinshiyu fulfilled her role so that she can introduce Dora and Kusanagi to the samurai force, and now we're in, and now the world is just blowing up, right? Which is great, which is what we needed, because now we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the interesting things of it. Like this is like Naruto Sasuke are officially going on missions. You know,
yeah,
this is
and
it feels like it's gearing up to that, which is exciting.
and I hope we get some more details about Kusanagi at some point because this little fella has so much spiritual energy that he downright breaks a samurai officer's sword in half.
Well, let's talk about that because that whole training montage. So after we see which is one of the I think it's one of the highlights of the chapter, is that in this particular chapter everything's moving forward to a different direction. So now it's called provisional officer. Is provisional officer or provisional samurai? I don't remember. Did I name this wrong? I maybe. I can be an idiot. Let's see. It's called it's provisional samurai. Okay, Brandon, it's official. You're an idiot. Um so everybody enjoying it? Yay! Brandon's an idiot. Um but no, so I can't even write samurai right. What's wrong with me? Okay, so thanks to Kusanagi, thanks to Jinshiyu, thanks to Heiji Uji, Dora is officially a provisional samurai, authorized by the Isanagi Force. So it's official. They're not hiding. Like,
He's kind
like,
of like Ichigo.
yeah.
All the,
Although we fast forward 200 chapters.
mm, yeah,
Well, which is awesome because they're not doing it the same way that everybody else has done it, which is what I like about it. And also, I know I have to watch more of Jujutsu Kaisen, but that was one of the biggest things that I discussed when we were talking about part one of season one. How a lot of it to me felt derivative, and I
How
still
do you mean?
like. I was feeling so many references or similarities to other stuff as opposed to seeing the originality of it.
Yeah,
You
and I
know,
have
and
to.
good.
Yeah, but I get you on that regard.
So I like the fact that this one already we're only in chapter 12, but it feels like it has a very clear identity. And I like how it's shifting in different directions, like the decision with Chiyo and the mystery behind Kusanagi's power and their relationship and all that stuff. So I really like what they're doing.
And
Now,
I love the pencil.
at the end,
Yes.
so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I think I had that image here set up. Let me put it up there. So the whole thing is that we're starting to get into the meat and bones of how abilities work in this world. And we've always heard that it's all about supernatural energy, right? And
Yeah.
one of the things that is that one of the things that made Dora and Kusanagi's relationship so powerful is that not only it's not only does Dora not have supernatural energy and he's not able to produce any, but he's extremely strong. But Kusanagi is not as physically strong, but has huge amounts of supernatural energy. So the way that their bond friendship works in battle is that Dora's physical force with supernatural energy from Kusanagi and the weapon that he chooses to become for Dora is a very unstoppable force and powerful force. And that's
Mm.
what Isaac was saying, that they're able to break Uji's sword in half. Now, it's not about the sword, right? This is not Demon Slayer, right? It's not necessarily about the
Yeah.
sword only. It's all about the supernatural energy that you can envelop on the sword. And one of the things that happens is that while Uji is training Dora and Kusanagi, he's able to Dora and Kusanagi are able to break Uji's sword. But Uji was able to just grab a simple pen and cut Dora,
Which
which
he always carry because in case someone wants an autograph, which is
yes,
just
yes, you can see it right here, guys. Is right there, right there. It's hilarious. Oh, by the way, can we talk about how cool the Uji's look is? He does have a very cool look, so I kind of
yeah.
like it. And it's funny because he kind of looks like a main character as opposed to a supporting role.
I mean, he probably gonna be a main character. At worst, I believe he's gonna be a Kakashi style character.
Right, right. But you know what I mean? Like he looks like the kind of like what we would expect a main character to look like.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've seen him before. That's what I mean. But because of this, because Dora has new supernatural energy, he's met with the challenge that he is the weak spot of Uji's team, because the thing about samurais is that they're able to use supernatural energy offensively and defensively to protect themselves. And Dora cannot do that. So Dora is officially sidelined by the end of chapter 12. And as they tell him that he's not able to join the battle or the missions. And that's like, it's a big shock. Um, but I like it's kind of like I have a feeling that this is something to be expected, but the way they resolve this in chapter 13 is perfection. I think it's awesome. I think it's great. And I think I'm getting very strong Digimon vibes on this, like Digimon season 3, The Tamers. But should we just jump into that and then talk about the character?
Yeah.
The new character. So the whole thing that they do in season 13 is that you see Dora like just training excessively, right? And he's trying to generate supernatural energy, because if he's not able to use supernatural energy defensively, then he cannot go on missions and he cannot do what he wants to do, which is protect people and all that jazz. And it's funny because he's training like crazy. He's like doing all these, he's going full on Goku. Like, don't, is it just me, or doesn't this give you like Goku hyperbolic time chamber, spaceship to Mars, spaceship to Namek vibes?
How do you mean?
Like whenever, like this is one of the exercises that he would do when he was on the spaceship toward to Namek.
Oh, oh yeah.
It gives
Maybe
you
it's
like,
I haven't tried Dragon Ball in forever, but
yeah,
it could just be a homage.
yeah, yeah. And of course Kusanagi just sitting on his feet. Like, nobody can
Yeah.
doubt that Kusanagi is the cutest little guy. Damn it. So cute.
Yeah.
But so there's two things that happen in this new chapter. So as you guys see, chapter 13 is named Tomo Toda. Now
And he's
that's not an incantation.
and
That,
he's hilarious.
yes, he's not an incantation. That's the name of a new character. And so it's funny because he looks, hopefully, that he's going to be a new main character of the series, because all the vibes that I'm getting from him are awesome. And I just love his energy. I love how crazy he is. I mean, look at him. So apparently he used to be a fellow classmate of Dora,
And
and,
a
and
schoolmate.
Dora used to apparently beat him up.
Yeah, he is as Toda calls him, his self-proclaimed rival because managed to beat his entire gang in a
Yep.
fight,
Yep.
uh,
And
which just makes it so. Iro- the scene where he approaches him first. I'm
yeah.
Toda is here to settle the score, but yeah, yeesh, what a pain. And then he punches himself for whatever reason, and just it was
Oh,
very
because
much.
because I think it's because Dora's all exhausted from training, so he wants to
Uh,
be in the same. Yeah,
it's
it's
I'm talking about the flashback that
yes,
he
yes,
punched
yes.
himself.
I have the scene. I have the panel right here actually,
Yeah,
because I knew we
what
were going
was
to talk
it?
about it. So
What
he's
was
just
it? He was it wasn't it like he hit himself 14 times because it was 14 on 1 that that
yeah.
Dora managed
It's
to
look at
defeat.
this. Look at this. I'm Toda Toda. I'm here to settle the score.
uh,
And you know what's funny? This guy gives me, you know who he reminds me of a lot? Like, I like, see, this is the kind of thing that I like with smart writing, is that animes, especially shonen like animes like this one, a lot of characters fit certain stereotypes, right?
yeah,
And one of the most successful kind of characters that I like for animes and mangas like this one is the friendly rival. Because for example, Sasuke is a dick for like 90%
what?
of Naruto, right?
Sasuke's a dick.
Yeah, right.
I didn't knew that.
Yeah, but it's like, but then you have friendly rivals like Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho, Renji from Bleach, Rock Lee for Naruto. Um, there's so many animes that have characters like that, and I like how this one is like, this is like Dora's Rock Lee, or Dora's Kuwabara, or Dora's um Renji. Like
Yeah,
like he always gonna be a tat weaker, but he's always gonna have a lot of fun just looking forward to a fight. I want to say Vegeta, but Vegeta's just a asshole because he just
yeah,
wants to really kick Goku's ass.
Vegeta is always an asshole, even if it gets a nice asshole after the after the cyborg arc,
Yeah,
sorry, android arc.
yeah.
Uh,
So
it's
so yeah, so I like his energy. I like the fact that introducing him to this, and also he's bringing knowledge, and he's talking about how Dora is kind of like stuck, and he there's no way that he can help him because there's no way if you don't produce supernatural energy, you can't protect yourself. And I like how they use Toma fighting with Dora and getting like Toma literally gets him a good punch, but he stands up right away because they use Toma as an example of how supernatural energy works defensively because he's able to recover quickly from that punch. It kind of makes me think about the whole quick step thing in Bleach, how learning that skill allowed Ishigo to really like step up his game in the middle of the Soul Society arc. It kind of reminds me of that and the whole Bankai thing. But but yeah, that was pretty exciting. Now, the creme de la creme reveal or super development that's awesome is definitely at the end. And again, who comes to save the day, Isaac?
our little merchandise
Captain
Kusina,
Merchandise. Yes.
Kusanagi.
Yep. And how do you do it, my ass? So one of the things that they're explaining is that the whole thing is that samurais use katanas and they engulf them, they surround them, they shroud them in supernatural energy. And it's funny because this is a very nice twist. Just like Dora uses Kusanagi's supernatural energy for offensive to be his weapon, Kusanagi is kind of wielding Dora defensively. So now Dora is the shield, which is kind of interesting, right? Like Dora is used like is the shield because he has the physical force that can now withstand stuff with supernatural energy, and like Kusanagi is the sword, which I like. I like how they're finding different ways to make the relationship interesting and how their battle style is going to be so unique. And I also like how this book doesn't take like battle styles or stuff like that. Like for example, Demon Slayer, like everybody has a very, 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 very exclusive style, you know, or like Naruto. I like how supernatural energy is just like an idea, and everybody just uses it differently, but they don't they haven't really labeled it, you know, which kind of gives it so much room for it to grow and expand. Did you like this development? Were you expecting this? Did it surprise you?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
It totally works, and it's a nice twist that the reason why he doesn't die about from the whole supernatural energy is, well, he has no supernatural energy.
exactly, exactly, exactly. Because that's the other thing. Like the supernatural energy is supposed to clash. Like human supernatural energy and Mononoke supernatural energy tends to clash with each other, and because he has none, apparently because he's useless. One of the advantages being useless. I don't know. It's phenomenal, man. This chapter was awesome. I mean, all the stuff happening um, with the developments of supernatural energy, the way the direction, the new characters. I can't wait to read more. I mean, guys, are you guys enjoying everything we do with Doron Dororon? Are you enjoying the review so far? Are you guys reading the manga? We want to hear what you think. Do you love Kusanagi? Do you want the Kusanagi beanbag chair? I do. What is your favorite Kusanagi merchandise? Hashtag Kusanagi it. You can find it in our store. No, I'm sorry. I got carried away. But that's all I got, Isaac. I mean, you got anything else on Doron Dororon this week?
Oh,
Isaac?
Mike's muted. Sorry. I think it's funny, and but I like these chapters.
Yeah,
It's some of the quirkiest chapters I've seen in a while.
yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. So, Isaac, how about we get out of here?
Yeah. Well, you can find my work over at Emblemania. It was work at Webm Entertainment, and you can find me at Emblemaniac on Twitter.
And you can find me at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Twitter, at the Scarlet Fan 52 on Instagram, and at the Scarlet Fan 52 on TikTok. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing there. And if you love everything we do, you can follow us on Twitter at the Amateur Otaku Pod, and you can search us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, the Amateur Otaku. Subscribe, click the like button, and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss any manga coverage, any anime coverage on the Amateur Otaku YouTube channel. If you like what we do and want to hear us on podcast form, you can go to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever podcasts are found. You can find the Amateur Otaku podcast. Have it awesome, guys. Peace.
Peace.